recapping Omega versus Moose before Omega versus Callahan against All Odds 2021. Christian Cage versus JJ, AJ versus JJ against All Odds main events. It's a history of like it turning, and they could have done something. They have some like AEW stuff in it with well, I'll talk about it later. It's going to be at Daly's Place as announced last week. Albeit there was not that much build-up as a result. With everything going back to work, I don't know if people are going to watch it. But I did see that the site was down a lot. Let's talk about the match. I like how it's an AEW at Daly's Place, and they have the AEW ring and some fans. The fans were sort of sucked and didn't make much noise. Moose they had this promo for Moose, and it was pretty effective. I finally understood his character. It's a little bit forced, but like when it's natural, it works. And the match, of course, paid off. He did a Spanish fly. He did a European. He did a spinner move. They say he was like too big to be put on the one-winged angel, which we'll get into in a moment. Before I thought it was going to be Shivani and first time announcer for a long time, Scott D'Amore as the announcers, and then they had Don Callis. Don Callis in real life was no longer an Impact executive VP. Then we have the match. He goes a lot for the discus clothesline, which doesn't look as strong as like AJ's or Hangman Page's or Brody Lee's. Pretty effective match. A lot of good moves. Not as fast as it could have been. I was distracted by what's described as cupping massage therapy that Omega had. They didn't explain. They didn't build it up. It looked really weird. I thought he had like chicken pox or something. He hit the dragon suplex. I think there was an injury with like Moose's leg. They went, and then of course Kenny Omega a lot of V-triggers. Kenny Omega goes on the top rope. I was wondering like why does he go on the top rope? Like he doesn't do any aerial moves. That never occurred to me, and it makes sense that he would try to wrestle more NWA style. That's sort of the problem about Omega as this kind of heel. You don't get to see 5-star matches as much. That's our problem with Bullet Club 2. Because he's cheating to win. He's like a unlikable person because he does that. And here's the matches. That being said, I thought the finish was fine. Can't really hit a bunch of V-triggers. Tries to hit the one wing multiple times. You can see it with a Spanish fly. Somewhere in the end, he gets speared, and then I think what happened, and the announcer screwed this up, is that he got speared, but he made sure that the referee got speared too. The Young Bucks got in and super kicked Moose. The Young Bucks got in and super kicked Moose. First time since like 2010 or whatever when they were last, or one night only when they showed up. First time as AEW execs they showed up. The clothes were really awful. Not really good for Persona. They can sell a lot of merch. They look like Mario Jannetty rip-offs. It looks bad. I guess at least they're not ripping off like DX and NWO. Merchandise-wise, at least. They hit the V super kicks. They hit the BTE trigger, and then you do a three-man setup for the one-winged angel before getting Moose pinned by Kenny Omega. They beat down Moose after the match. Then it goes dark. Previously, Sami Callihan had wrestled a match. Well, he was challenged by the Good Brothers. Kenny Omega sent the Good Brothers against Sami Callihan. And this match, the main event was at Daily's Place. The Sami Callihan match was opener. I don't know why it was opener. It didn't really matter since, like, we know how that happened. Like, it was at Daily's Place. I mean, the opening match, the main event was the only one at Daily's Place, and the rest of them were in the Impact Arena that they've been using since the pandemic. Skyward Studios. So anyway, Sami Callihan. So the main event is the Skyward. The opening match, for whatever reason, I guess to build up or confuse you, is the Good Brothers versus Sami Callihan. Well, I guess AEW does all the time with a main event opener. And it's had to tie in a lot with the main event. We don't wrestle anywhere, so it's different. Sami Callihan and Tommy Dreamer beat the Good Brothers, who were sent by Omega to put a hit on Sami Callihan to make sure he doesn't make it to Salem Anniversary. Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan beat the Good Brothers. Then Sami Callihan teleports to Daily's Place and beats down the 3 original members of the Elite. He then goes for a chair, tries to Pillmanize Kenny Omega. Nakas's like, wait, stop. And then fires Sami Callihan before he can, because he's executive VP and he doesn't want Kenny Omega injured. He doesn't really justify it that well. I think the whole shock was that he's fired, so like, where's he going to be next time? Which was me, I guess, like, what's going to happen on Impact. I guess this is actually a good build-up, because like, Impact is before AEW now, because it's on Thursday, and like, all the AEW Dynamite shows are Friday now because of the NBA playoffs. So actually, we see on Thursday that Sami Callihan isn't there. Then Friday, maybe Tony Khan signs him, or maybe they tease it on, like, they're going to have Sami Callihan on AEW, because like, he has to get, or else he's going to have the match. So I guess Tony Khan will sign him, the AEW guy. And then, because they have the Good Brothers there, and they're Impact guys anyway. Impact in real life contracts. Wrestlers. Real life Impact wrestlers who are under Impact contract. The Good Brothers and probably Sami Callihan, who show up in AEW. I have something else to that. Let me go check my messages. So it shows up in the contract from Tony Khan. Because, like, he doesn't have a contract with Impact, so he gets a contract from Tony Khan in AEW to get the Impact title. And then the Young Bucks show up on Thursday with Kenny Omega saying how great they are in Impact. And maybe they go for the Impact Tag Team titles. Not sure. Guess that's all I said. Impact show up, return. I think that's it. Well, Siobhan's acting, and then this was pretty bad. It's sort of like my acting in this stream, just to ruin everything. There's a scene where Kenny was like, had to pull his pants up, sort of like a Ric Flair spot, except not, it's very top of the butt. Like Nakazawa stuff, they merged the cupping therapy, massage therapy was from Nakazawa. The AEW ring also looked dirty as fuck. Like, they didn't wash the boots or something, because there's like a whole bunch of like black dots on it. Like black footprints on it. That look like circles, like closer or something, I don't know. Yeah, there's footage of the cooking and stuff. It was really good. Moose always brings his best matches to Kenny Omega. I don't know if it's a chip on his shoulder, but he does really good. Impact fans wanted Moose to win after Kenny Omega beat Swan. Of course, Kenny Omega is a draw for Impact Wrestling. And now they're going to have Omega versus Callahan. Something can happen before that. I don't know what's going to happen. But I think Omega will keep the title. It'd be really interesting if we go with the Triple H World title or DDT World title, since Peter Pan's happening soon. And he was supposed to go to Peter Pan, the WrestleMania of DDT a year ago during the pandemic, but it didn't happen. Maybe eventually someone with NJPW. What are your thoughts on subscribe?